And we are live. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, go ahead and hit the beautiful intro and introduce the sponsors of this podcast.
As always, Lance, this show is brought to you by the good people of Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000. Just another day into another beautiful Wanna week. Tons of winners, tons of money headed out the door. Lots of good stuff coming on. We've got two more great March Madness tournament games coming on here in the next 40 minutes. We got some NIT rolling, but then we hit tomorrow. We got 16 games coming up of March Madness, and we get that for 2 straight days. And we basically get 3 straight weeks of the best betting season of the year. So not going to waste too much time on the intro. Would like to point out to the people, though, Wana is again offering up a VIP contest. We've done it before. It's resulted in people enjoying free games and free stay in Kansas City to go to Arrowhead games, watch Patrick Mahomes, rub elbows with Taylor Swift. Had people go to the Winter Classic there at Wrigley on New Year's Eve. And now it's just $2, 100 entries limit. And the winner is getting an all expenses paid trip to the championship game at the end of this March Madness there in San Antonio. The losers of this contest, by the way, if you win high enough, you're still going away with some Hex Head options, another partnership with the good company Hex Head. So lots to play for, but nothing bigger than getting a chance for an all expenses paid trip to go to the national championship game. Very sweet. Currently being hosted on Wana. Keep listening to the show, but toggle between your apps right there and make sure you're getting some submissions. Just $2 per entry, $100 entry limit. That's $200 going towards something that's going to otherwise cost you $5,000. I would be hammering down on it if I were you people. And then quick reminder, Tone, you can pick it up if you want, but March 23rd, brought to you by Tone and sponsored by Wanna Parlay, going down in ATL, the Wanna Parlay Party. Lots of good men and women like yourself come together for some relationship building and, more importantly, some parlay building. So to quote my man Tone, if you are near, please appear. And then right there, that next Monday, right after that, Little Joe's is putting on a similar event there in Chicago. So if you're in the Midwest, find yourself there. If you're in the Southeast, get yourself over to the Party by Tone, the Parlay Party there in Atlanta. Got a great show for you guys today. It's March Madness, baby. We've officially survived this shitty lull of the sports calendar, and now we just get to let it rip. So today is going to be entirely devoted to putting this bracket together. We've got about 16 hours or so before these things are officially locked. And, need I remind you people, a lot of parlays to be had at Wanna Parlay. But someday the perfect bracket's going to emerge, and that fucker's going to make $1 billion. So listen up. Might be you. It's probably going to be me. Let's have a deck.
Oh, man. Well, it's a Wanna Parlay podcast, folks, so you know where we start. We do an awesome intro by Jack, and then we go right into accountability time, accountability hour, whichever one you prefer. Starting with myself, don't love it from me. We went 2-3 in our picks, which kind of equates to 2-4 because I say parlay and take them individually. Not my favorite, not great stuff, but let's hop right into it. Dyson Daniels over 2.5 steals. This was lock of the century. This hit in the second quarter. What do they call him? The Great Barrier Thief. This Daniels kid is incredible. He's over from Australia. We love it. Next, Damian Lillard over 29.5 points and assists. This was a loss. This guy's starting to piss me off a little. I'm starting to miss on some of the overs I'm taking with Lillard, who used to just be a for sure guy for me, but now in this Milwaukee role, it's not looking like it. Which I'll keep in mind going forward, but it is what it is. That's a loss. Next, we got Jimmy Butler over 27.5 points and assists. This was a lock. This was good stuff. Never a question, and really got it going in the third and fourth quarter. Lonnie Lyle, you absolute legend. He says, ain't been no Dame time all season. God damn it, you're right, and it pisses me off. But we'll keep that in mind. And he says, what's up, fellas? And I know everyone says, what's up, Lonnie? So I'm just going to keep going here. Evan Mobley over 17.5 points. This was brutal. He hit the number 17, and he hit it, I think, with 9 minutes or 5 minutes left in the game. So there was a lot of time to man up. But Evan Mobley couldn't do it, and neither could the Cavs. -2.5. Done. Not hitting. Clippers defend home court. The Intuit Dome and the wall affected the Cleveland Cavaliers. Go back home east. We don't want you here. So There's 2 and 3 on the picks. We're not stoked, but my God, we'll be a lot better. We'll be a lot better today. Jack, fire us up.
Two narratives you had me absolutely sold on. I was with you on the Bucks over the Warriors, and thought it was an auto lock, the Cavs versus the Clips last night. So we should have just trusted your logic. West Coast versus East Coast teams taking the West Coast side of it this year, but brutal because. Yeah, Dame just cost you. Hit the Jimmy Butler. Good call. Knowing Steph was hanging out of that game. But it was all dubs last night. A little bit of playoff Jimmy, which was fun. And then the Cavs. Disappointing stuff. Coming off the 16-game winning streak. I think now dropped 2 straight. So you hate to see it from Cleveland. Boys, I just telling you, it could be my tournament. 4-0 start to the tourney. Is it my fucking year? It could be. UNC minus 3.5 for San Diego State, 95-68 beatdown. That score is not even as close as that game was. Quite frankly, I think there's a lot of things in play. We'll table that conversation for when we get into the bracket. San Diego State under 69.5 was a hit all game. Got a little hairy there at the end. Got all the way to 68 after a buzzer beater 3. Thank God for some missed free throws. We hang on to that number. RJ Davis, 22.5 points, assists, rebound. Good when he just scores 26 points on his own and makes that real simple. Goes 6 from 6 from deep. That's nice. Good stuff from the senior and second all-time leading scorer for a very good North Carolina program. And then St. Francis plus 3.5 for Alabama State. They get beat by 2 on the home run ball on the Hail Mary there at the buzzer. But we had 3.5, so thank God we take the points and we win that one as well. Quick 4-0 from the kid. Let's go.
That was incredible stuff, Jack. I mean, from top to bottom. The UNC pick, by the way, what a lock. What a lock. That wasn't even a game. I feel like we all knew it too, just going in, especially everyone saying UNC shouldn't have been there and all that. And you called out the San Diego State just not being the San Diego State teams of the past. So, I mean, overall, just great fucking work, Jack. That's just respectable stuff.
The group text was cooking during that game, and you texted over to Tone and I, hey, 6.5 live. What do you guys think? And I was like, they're up 5 with 7 turnovers. I think it's pretty good. And sure enough, they ran away with it. Now, Tone, I would love to hear your thoughts on this because if North Carolina is going to shoot like that and score 95, they can beat anybody. Sure, watch out for them to get hot here. But that San Diego State team was not a great basketball team. They had lost 2 of their last 3 coming into it. I felt like that bet was as easy as they came, especially with all the bulletin board material leading up to it. So I don't know if it's so much that North Carolina's cooking or if San Diego State just wasn't that great of a team. I thought we got a little bit sold on the brand with San Diego State this year, and offensively they just weren't it. So that's my take. Tone, how'd you do last night?
Well, I'll tell you about that UNC. You know, LeBron James, you know, the greatest basketball player ever that touched the orange thing. He throws powder in the air, and if you're a fan of baby blue powder or Tar Heel powder, don't get too excited. It was all about matchups. That's all. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to happen. They're not making the. They're not going to get to the top 8. I'll put it like that. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. I think they're going to be an easy one. I think people run into their brackets right now to go get situated with UNC. I still think they get cooked to Ole Miss in this next game. But we'll talk about the bracket when we get there. How'd you do last night?
Yeah, they'll get tossed in the air like powder.
Yeah.
Last night, all right. Accountability hour. This is my favorite time of the show. Win, lose, loss, draw, whatever. It doesn't matter. I feel like this is the most important part to being a reliable source for parlays, bets, and player props. So for my naked eye, I don't think for the first time on this show, I didn't do very well last night. But let's see. I haven't tallied it up. From the top, Alabama State, I had W. They hit. Kent State, W. They hit. Kent State plus 4.5. That hit. Georgia Tech, W. And Georgia Tech minus 5.5 did not hit. UNC, W. UNC minus 4.5 both hit. Middle Tennessee, W. And Middle Tennessee minus 2.5. Neither one hit. I went on a little streak here. Oklahoma State, W. hit. Arkansas State, W. hit. Santa Clara hit. Santa Clara minus 10.5 hit. Stanford, W. hit. Chattanooga under 154.5 hit. Then I had 3 misses. Oklahoma State under 154.5 didn't hit. Santa Clara under 155.5 didn't hit. And I had the Hornets plus 6.5, and my home team just straight went outside and got a switch and put them across there.
It was belt to ass.
Oh man, what the world? Yeah. And then I had the Celtics W that hit. Celtics minus 13.5, which I said was risky, didn't hit. Bucks W, Bucks minus 3.5. We was all in on that together, guys, but I had risky and neither one of those hit. Cleveland over 231.5. That was a sneaky one I gave you and that hit. Now on my other side, my player props, Trae Young over 1.5 3-pointers, he hit. Cam Johnson and my Dame player props didn't hit. Kyle Kuzma did hit over 9.5 points. Matt Strus over 1.5 threes, he hit. He made 5 of them. Juan Cranford over 11.5 points, he hit. TJ Madlock, CJ Hines, and Nicholas Boyd did not hit, and LaMelo Ball was a DNP. And I gave you guys 4 hockey picks last night, and I went 50-50 for those, 2 out of 4.
I have you. Okay, so let me add that at the end there. So I have you at 18 and 17. I had you at 16 and 15 before the hockey picks. So all in, you still come out on the winning side right there, Tone. You're never letting the people down. You have a sleepy night, you're still in the win column. Atta baby.
Hey, that's good. A bad night, I was still in the win column. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones I really saw and just got a good fucking chuckle was the Georgia Tech just belt to ass and the Atlanta Hawks and the Hornets belt to ass. I mean, other than that, I noted, I was like, oh, he's still on track. But these are just hilarious because it was just such a bit. It was so funny. But no, that's great. That's great work. An off night, 18 and 17. Like, are you kidding me? What are we talking about here? That's just greatness, folks. All right. Well, if we're moving forward, that means we're moving into March Madness. We're moving into brackets. How do we want to do this? Do we want to talk about it? Should I drag a bracket in front?
Totally your call on how we want to present it. I'm happy to kind of lead the conversation because I think I got a good way for us to plot around without talking about 63 individual games and us taking a 7-hour podcast here. So I'm thinking we go quadrant by quadrant, and I got a couple questions for you guys as we go through it. And we'll just go quadrant by quadrant. I think we'll pretty much answer all the questions we want answered as we go.
All right. Right now, they can just see the bracket I have filled out.
Okay, beautiful. So starting in the South, that top left quadrant, right? So question 1 for you boys. Do we have any shockers in the first round? You got any dark horse that you're proud of pulling out of here? Any major upset you're forecasting out of that top left South quadrant?
Personally, the only one I've been thinking about, I've been thinking going Yale, but then I'm like, maybe I'm thinking too hard because I me, I'm the most uneducated on this show about this. So I also, you guys were talking about North Carolina. I'm like, hey, the teams that play the tune-up game before usually are ready to go for the tournament, and they usually shock. Like this UNC team, if they play like they did last night and they can shock, I mean, they can win a couple games. It's all about the chip on your shoulder. So that's the one that I had personally. But other than that, I don't have much. How about you guys?
Yeah, I agree with you, Lance, on the 11 seed UNC. I think they advanced past the first. I think they advanced past Ole Miss. I know they're supposed to be the underdog. And I like the 13 seed Yale in their first game versus Texas A&M. I know a lot of people are like, "What?" Yeah, but I mean, I think
we're cooking. We're cooking.
They've been playing some decent ball. I know they've only been beaten like Princeton and Harvard and stuff like that. But hey man, I think they may pull an upset. And my biggest one, and I really feel like they're gonna pull it off. But it's Creighton. I think Creighton is gonna disappoint very early Louisville. That's what I personally feel.
I kind of like it. I'll tell you this. I'm usually a one bracket man. I'm usually a set it and forget it. That's the $1 billion bracket. Let it go. And I've gone 4 consecutive years of missing the first game and having my dreams not even last 2 hours. And so my thought this year is to go 2 brackets. And the only variance is just change that first game. Let me just enjoy it for just a little while longer. Because I'll say my biggest shocker, I'm a little bit chalky here in this quadrant in the opening round. Bunch of people getting excited about UC San Diego versus Michigan. UC San Diego is one of the dark horse darlings going around on brackets. Michigan all year. I was begging for one more guy to show up, and in the Big Ten tournament, they did. All of a sudden, Michigan to me looks like a team that could get right and make a run, playing their best basketball right now. So I faded that deal. First round, I got a whole lot of nothing here. I got a lot of chalk going in the first round of the Southern. My biggest thing, Tone, and I know this is going to shock you because you have Creighton. I got Louisville in the second round beating Auburn.
Wow. See, I have Louisville. So I was held up on this. I'm glad that we all were. The Louisville Creighton. And I heard that Louisville got damn hot in that ACC tournament and that they're going to win. And now that you're saying that against Auburn, holy, I don't think you're far off. I will say, Jack, we do have KG Little Joe's waiting in the waiting room.
Oh, please. Perfect time to bring him on before we get too carried away with the basketball conversation because he's got some cool stuff to talk about.
All right, so let's bring our faces back on. Let me sit up. Hold on now. And let's bring I'm sitting there slouching. KG.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. And now we just need to see you. There KG, he is.
There he is. I got my Little Joe's vodka hanging out with me right here. We got it in the back of the shot.
All right, is it on there?
Yeah. We see you.
Okay. There we go.
You got I was just saying, KG, we got the Little Joe's vodka hanging out in the back of the shot here.
Oh, okay. I got this right here.
Oh, there we go. Little El Bandito Yankee.
There it is.
Partner company of Wanna Parlay. Absolutely.
Right?
Little brother or little hermano.
Promotion everywhere.
What's that?
It's a little cross promotion everywhere.
Yes.
Exactly right. Yeah, we're getting on your Brandon. We're getting all in on your Little Joe's party coming up on this Monday or 2 Mondays from now?
So it's all tournament long.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually called the Little Joe's El Bandito. You know you want to play hooky packing.
Yeah, there we go. I love
so
it.
every day you show up, you get one entry. Every day you show us that you make a bet on Wanna Parlay, you get 2 entries. And then if you sign up to Wanna Parlay, you get 5 entries. So the prize is one person gets a $50 gift card to Rick and Benny's, and we send you to a White Sox game in the bleachers. And then you also get a $50 gift card to Pequod. We send you to a Cubs game, 2 tickets in the bleachers. Then we give you 2 Wanna Parlay hats, which you're already wearing. And then you get 2 of the new T-shirts.
You know you wanna. That is so good.
And then on the back, you have a QR code. When they turn around, the QR code, you scan it.
Well, I know you got the best looking bar staff in all of Chicago too, KG. So I trust that those will be on the wait staff as well.
Oh, they're going to be all over the city.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
we're pushing hard the win the trip to the championship game.
Yeah, 100%. We talked about that at the top of the show. Most recent Wanna VIP contest, winner getting all expenses paid trip to San Antonio for the national championship game. That is fucking awesome, KG.
We're pushing it hard. We actually have a flyer getting printed out right now. We're going to put it on the front door as people walk by.
So first time, KG, I know because it's Wanna's first year up and running. So first time you've done it with Wanna, but I would imagine in the past as a bar owner, you've been. This has got to be a pretty cool time of year, huh? When the March Madness.
Yeah, it's weird. I just had a girl that was in there yesterday. She's like, they should change March Madness to March Wetness.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Fucking A, KG. I need to hang out with you more often. You text in one time on the show, you got 4 hot blondes sitting there drinking with you. The next day, you're drinking 12 shots because Bronny James can't hit a shot. Now all of a sudden,
yeah, I mean, look at the prizes we're giving away. That's more points than Bronny scored all year.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Can we throw a tournament-long prop bet in there that if Bronny scores at all during the stretch during March Madness, someone wins something?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we should do that. Will he even play during the March Madness?
Yeah. Any minutes recorded or percentage off your drink. That deal. But if he never plays once,
every game Bronny plays, we'll give an extra entry to anybody who makes a bet.
Yeah,
let's go.
Exactly.
Let's
right.
go.
Hey, so KG, we just opened up the bracket a little bit. We're starting to talk some of these games as we're about 16 hours from the brackets locking. Any hard feelings going into it? Have you filled out your bracket yet?
Yeah, Florida versus Illinois championship game.
Oh, look at you, the homer, riding the home dogs with Illinois. I love it. They're playing. They got healthy late. They got that.
Yeah, they're healthy now, so it's gonna be rough for Tom.
KG, I just saw them get belt to ass in the Big Ten tournament. I'm not gonna lie. I totally trusted your faith. I listened to you. I wailed on them. I bet heavy Illinois, and they got bitched. So talk to me, KG. Does that
game meant nothing to them? They were still getting that same seed no matter they won it or not.
Fair. That's fair. But my point is, I'm like, are you a little weary after a performance like that, or do you still believe in those Fighting Illini?
Not worried at all.
All right.
Let me ask you this question too: is because every year it seems, I think it's at something like a over 80% clip. One of these play-in teams ends up making a Sweet 16 run. I don't think it's happening from the 16 seed. So it's either that hot North Carolina team from last night, or it's going to be this Texas team that beat Xavier tonight, who's playing Illinois. Does that game scare you?
I think Carolina's getting knocked out the next game.
We were just got done saying the same thing. I thought it was equally as how bad San Diego State was last night, and then as good as they shot. And I don't know. I mean, I had the numbers pulled up, but they shot almost 90% from the free throw line, almost 60% from three, and over 50% from the floor. You're going to beat anyone when you shoot like that. I don't know how sustainable
they're not going to do that next game at all. They're not even be close to that next game.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm a North Carolina believer right here. You're looking at them in the flesh. I think they might beat Ole Miss. Hey, you played the tune-up, KG. Just listen. You had played the tune-up game. It means they show up always, almost always better. That's why there is the stat that the play-in teams get these wins. I'm like, you don't believe in that UNC Blue? Come on now, nope. KG.
Nope.
Nope. I mean, all right. Well, then
if the game was a lot closer, I'd believe in them. Not with that blowout like that.
Okay, that's valid.
So KG, with flights being the way they are now, I just got back from a wedding in Florida where I was just getting smoked. Multiple flights canceled, turned over, way more money than I ever should have had to spend to fly 3,000 miles. But regardless, we've got some out-of-towners that might not make it to Little Joe's that are going to instead be in the Southeast going to Tone's party this upcoming Sunday. And I think we're going to get Tone to do a little live remote there, showcase the people. We might need some back and forth. We'll do an emergency press conference where Lance and I get on. We get a little Joe's FaceTime in there. We get some Atlanta FaceTime in there, and we just put all the party people together.
I'm down.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome. That'll be incredible.
It'll be uncut.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll tell you, you'd know better than I would, KG. But a Sunday bar crowd is good people. That's people that have survived the weekend. They're back for day 3. They want more drinks.
I don't know. A lot of no makeup on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot. That's what we want to see. We want the unfiltered.
I want to see some
you don't.
blondes.
No, you don't.
Also, the Atlanta women, and maybe he could show me some hot blondes. During
exactly right.
We have to get a couple of these T-shirts to put out in those Atlanta strip clubs.
Yeah.
Hey, me and Jack will be the judges. You guys bring your most beautiful women, and we'll see who wins, Chicago or Atlanta.
I will say this time of year we're putting Chicago in a bad spot. This is usually heavy sweater, big sweatshirt time of year for the Midwest. We're putting you guys in a bad spot.
Mother Nature's bipolar. It went from 80 degrees to snow. Now it's raining. It's 70, and then it's not fun.
This is the trade-off from California. We've got worse people, but perfect weather. You guys have the best people, but you got to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, when they walk out in the rain, all the makeup comes off again. It's not good.
Exactly right. Well, shoot, KG, we're just talking brackets. You can stay on as long as you want. We're in the South Quadrant right now, but thank you so much for coming on to today. And again, this is going on the entire time at Little Joe's and KG, the partnership with El Bandito Yankee and Wanna Parlay, the watch party. What would you call it? The hooky pass? The Little Joe's hooky pass?
Yes, Little Joe's, El Bandito, you wanna play hooky package.
Yeah, you wanna play hooky package going on. It insults me to my core that Lance and I have not been gotten flights booked for us by our company just yet, because Lord knows we're begging the higher ups to send us out.
There also might be some added prizes as this goes along.
There 100% will be some added prizes. You're too damn cool. It's going to be too much of a scene over there at Little Joe's.
There's a local radio station that's going to advertise this for us.
Hell yeah. Are you doing that with our guy Dane? Is Dane Neal involved?
Yeah.
WGN guys?
Good old Dane. Good old Dane.
Yes, sir. Dane's son, a couple weeks ago, clipped us up for some big money at Wanna Parlay. So everyone's starting to win over here at Wanna. Everyone that's except for the people that are super close to me. Somehow I'm just bringing a curse with me. Everybody I have that I bring on the show.
We even got all of these on the tables now too.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's not a better. I mean, we call this podcast the home of Wanna Parlay, but the people ought to know if we needed a physical location. If you ever wanted to send something to the good folks of Wanna Parlay, don't look at our company directory. Just send straight to Little Joe's there in Chicago. That's our headquarters.
That's headquarters. That's home base. I mean, come on now.
Pretty soon we have to name a drink after it.
No kidding,
man. That would be awesome. That
Honestly,
would be insane.
as far as us three go here, I think we're going to have wildly different drink orders. So we'll have some debate there. We might have to come up with some common game we can all bet on, and the winner gets to decide what the official Wanna beverage is. Because I'm a little whiskey based. I know you sent me the vodka, but I go a little rogue. I got to pour the whiskey.
We got some Little Joe's bourbon.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm dying to come taste it. I'm going to sit down there, and by the end of it, someone's going to have to take me home.
White Russian?
White Russian.
That's racist as shit.
That's my favorite drink.
Tone is the dude. He's just Big Lebowski reincarnated.
Oh man! And
usually, if someone orders a White Russian, we tell them to go to another bar.
Yeah, White Russian, man. I definitely need in Chicago. Keep me warm. You got to have something like that.
Exactly right.
That's what whiskey's for.
Yeah, isn't White Russian whiskey based? No, bourbon.
No,
yeah,
it's
no.
What is
It's
it?
too much cream. You don't want to drink cream because you start puking all over the place.
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a tequila soda guy, so I'm nothing special.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah.
Look how skinny he is.
Oh, I mean, hey, maybe a vodka water, vodka soda, tequila soda. We just keep it light. We keep it light, folks.
Vodka soda, we call them the Karens around here.
Hey, that's valid. That's valid. Hey, I'm not proud of it. I'm just an honest man, KG. I'm an honest man.
You ask for extra line just to make yourself feel special.
It's sad because I do. I am that pathetic. I don't have enough hair on my chest yet. I'm getting there.
He was born in Southern California. He forgets his roots. He forgets his people are from Wisconsin, and we drink whiskey around there.
I've been sheltered in my bubble for too long. I just, tequila soda, it's always been that way.
So I know. So between your problems over there, KG, with Illinois, which we've stated, what do you think about me having Louisville beating Auburn in the second round? What are you going to be drinking after that nightmare unfolds?
Same thing I always drink, whiskey.
Good day.
Could be a good day, could be a bad day, but all I know is that it's ending with whiskey.
There is no such thing as a bad day. The floor.
Depending what day I'm here watching the games, we usually do in-game contest. If they hit a tree, the next shot, a random person that's the bar had to do a shot, or
boom.
That's
if
awesome.
You need a bell ringer or a mascot, certainly between the three of us, we could do that. We can get Lantz in an outfit. Tone and I are energy guys. We can go talk to the people. Give Tone a microphone, by the way. This guy with a little bit of music accompaniment just watched him go off.
So would the Wanna Parlay mascot have no eyes?
We're still trying to figure out exactly what the Wanna Parlay mascot was. It was a pirate. Now it's Lantz. We're trying to figure it out.
Put some sunglasses on the pirate.
Yeah.
I just need a big
shades.
Hey, all I've asked for, I just need a big purple suit. Just put me a big purple suit. Give me an Abe Lincoln type.
No. Drunk people think you're like Barney's skinny kid or something.
Go ahead.
Outside of Wanna players, KG, who will be the majority of the patrons in there? Will you have a big Illinois crowd in there? Will there be a lot of orange in the bar?
When they're playing, yeah, but otherwise, man, it's just whoever is. This is a big gambling bar besides Wanna.
Yeah.
People come in here and they want certain games on there, so we don't have a lot of TV. So what I usually do is whoever has the highest tab gets to choose the game.
That's the tragedy of what I got going here in Southern California. We've got all these trendy hip bars. No one wants to just play 8 friggin' college basketball games at once. It drives me crazy. I got to set up 3 TVs in my living room to have any kind of experience around here.
And I randomly will go, hey, can you turn on a women's basketball game? I'm like, what's that?
What is that?
Whoa, hey, that Juju Watkins is pretty entertaining. I mean, don't sleep on her now. There's a couple of them out there.
If I can't bet on you on Wanna, it's not coming on the TV.
That's valid. Hey, that's a valid point.
Very
valid point.
Very well said.
Well, awesome stuff.
Yeah, on the off days, on that Monday, Wednesday, because we know the tournament games are always Thursday through the weekend. We might need some live streaming from our podcast in there. We might need it. Okay. We might need to throw Wanna up on the screens.
That's easy. That's an easy fix.
Yeah. I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm just throwing that out there as a thought.
I'll just randomly take the phone and go around the crowd.
Yeah, that'd be good. Honestly, when we do our Thursday show, that's a hell of a deal. I'll send you the link. I would love that. If we can get someone just to come on and just check in on their live bet, that would be awesome.
Yeah, see, Polsky will be here.
There we go. We've been trying to get. I texted Steve Folsky, so it'll be good to see him. And then we got to hit our buddy.
You got to get him earlier. He's about 8 drinks in.
Yeah, my kind of guy. I appreciate that from him.
That's how he makes all his bets. He's 8 drinks in. He never makes them before.
It's incredible. And then, are you guys still doing some of the food? Are you going to be back in the kitchen at all, doing the Taylor Street sliders?
So we're doing another. We're bringing it back. May 26th, Memorial Day.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so we changed
the
name. So we're changing the name. It's called Slappy Sliders now.
Oh, beautiful. Slappy Sliders. Tone, you didn't get to hear the promo for these things, but just having to read it off every day was creating problems for me. It was, I had no alternative, no way to source it over here in California. I was just reading off these delicious slider descriptions, having to stomach that all the time. Tough job out here. I know it doesn't seem like it to people, but it is. It really is. Anyway, KG, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We have to cobble up together some more college basketball talk here, but we 100% will be bugging you on Thursday or tomorrow mid-game, see if we can't sneak you. And if not, then definitely next week, because Lord knows we got 3 weeks of this. So we'll be rocking and rolling the entire way.
All right. Sounds good.
You're the coolest ever. Love the T-shirts. Fired up to see him on somebody tomorrow. We will be checking back in early and often.
All right. Sounds good.
You're the man, dude.
We'll talk to you soon. Pick the winners tonight, Tone.
Yeah.
I followed you. I picked your worst time that you've been on the show, man.
Sure. Hey, tonight it's going to be bangers only, KG. Bangers only.
I went 4-0 if you want to fade. I went 4-0 last night if you want to fade me tonight. It's rare I get to put it together.
I was oh, man. That means you're due for some losses here.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
Where you go, KG, I just want to let you know, man, Illinois, second round may be the exit. I'm just
Kentucky? Come on.
Hey, we'll see.
If I have to go break some legs myself, I'll go do it.
Yeah.
That
Uncle
is
Bruno,
so awesome.
KG. I love it.
All right, KG.
Need to call ahead.
Guys.
Love you, bro.
Until next time.
Later.
Adios. What a legend.
Tell him if that's the first time you met KG, he's our local legend around here.
Man, love the vibes. I got to get up there to the bar. I got to check it out, man.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a guy taking care of you. He, I think, there was a second here where I think this podcast was on rough times, and I think he single-handedly saved it with his fandom. So, all in on KG. We owe him everything. Love him to death. So I got to Louisville, fellas.
Yep. The brackets back up. We're in go time.
Fantastic. So we all covered kind of our dogs, kind of our Cinderella stories coming out of here. I'm carrying Louisville all the way to the Elite Eight, which is my next question to you guys. Staying in the South Quadrant, who's your 2 teams going to the Elite Eight from your quadrant from the South there? I'm going Louisville versus Michigan State.
Yeah, I'm nothing special. I'm Auburn, Michigan State.
And repeat. You said from both sides. Who's going to meet? Is
yeah. So if you're staying in that top left, basically your final game in the Southern Quadrant there.
Okay.
Who's your Elite Eight matchup?
I'm Auburn and somebody. I would say probably if I want to make it cinematic, it's gonna be Auburn. And check it. This is the cinematic side. And Bryant. But if we're gonna be accurate, I say it's going to be Auburn, and I say Michigan State.
There we go. Good man.
Yeah, because there's no way Bryant is making it. Who's Bryant? Talk to me about it, because now I'm like, is there any way in hell?
Bryant's been good all year. They won their conference. You know, we talked about the 15-2s. All of a sudden, 15 seeds will clip you up every now and again. I like this Michigan State team. Didn't they just won the Big Ten Conference? They won some big ones. I kind of like the swing on Bryant. I just wish they didn't get Michigan State. I wish maybe they got Alabama, where I could talk myself into it a little bit.
Jack, what do you think, though? If hypothetically speaking, in some created world, it happens that they beat Michigan State, how do they roll from there?
100%. If you can get the first hurdle, which is the biggest one, you can talk yourself into it. And I'll talk about it even because they would have Michigan State's path. I think Michigan State's got the easiest path in this deal. New Mexico is kind of started out everyone's darling. They got a guy averaging 22.5 points a game there. But they're getting Marquette out of the gate. Shaka Smart. They're going to be playing all that press from Marquette. Tough game for New Mexico. But regardless, coming out of there, I don't think that's the tough matchup. Whoever you're seeing between Marquette and New Mexico, I think you roll through there. And then your 3 seed, who you'd think you got to eventually go saddle up to against right there, is Iowa State, who's got the injury coming into the tournament. So I don't necessarily fear Iowa State. I think Michigan State's path is pretty clean, and they're rolling up just to eventually who's going to you got to get through then the top of the bracket, who's going to be Michigan, Auburn, Louisville, but I think they get to the Elite Eight pretty comfortably. I don't see anyone in there, especially with the Iowa State being down. Does Ole Miss get hot? I don't know. I don't necessarily see it. I think Michigan State's pretty clean here. Which, to your point, if Bryant pulls off the shocker and wants to ruin my bracket in the first afternoon, well, fucking A. Yeah, they get to go through pretty clean right there. And then I'll say this too. I have Michigan State going all the way to my Final Four. I had them win my Elite Eight game. I don't know who you guys have.
Yeah, because you have Auburn losing. So if you have Auburn losing, then you definitely have Michigan State. Yeah, no, over here, I mean, I have like Iowa State and North Carolina playing in the round of 32. I have Iowa State going by, and it's Iowa State, Michigan State to go play Michigan State, Auburn.
Yeah. So you got it a little chalky. I think that quadrant is a little chalky, though. I really do. I think there's some more fun ones to come.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Marquette. Know the name Cam Jones. This guy, he's legit. He's a real player. I watched him play against St. John's and thought St. John's was gonna be cooked. He's legit. He's the number one option on that team. But Tone, go ahead.
He's been good. He was their guy last year with I'm forgetting the name of it, Colette or something like that. Tyler Colette, something like that was their starting point guard last year. I thought that was the Shaka Smart team that might break through for him. This year, when I've watched him in the Big East, I didn't quite see it from Marquette. I thought Creighton had their number. I thought St. John's had their number all year. So I'm not so afraid of Marquette. Although I do love me some Shaka Smart teams, particularly in March, because they play press defense as good as anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched that kid just give absolute buckets. So I got them over New Mexico and then not much further. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward for me on that left side of the bracket. But I'm also kind of worried about mine because I don't have much shock value, which is always the unfortunate reality when you realize, oh, mine's going to get screwed. But Tone, let us know what you're thinking.
All right, so Jack, first and foremost, I would take your method. I'm definitely not making one bracket. I don't know what kind of Rubik's Cube scientists these people think they are, but I'm definitely gonna make at least 2 because I want to make a yin and a yang. I want to make one that's mashed potatoes and gravy. Then I want to make one that's grits and sugar. So you guys out on the West Coast don't know nothing about that, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, so I would cook one up that would be the typical, the ideal.
Mm-hmm.
How it's supposed to happen according to just on paper who's been playing the better ball and blah 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 blah. My 4 meeting up would simply be Auburn, Duke, Florida, Houston. That would be my 4 meeting up, regardless of what the routes are and how it goes and this, that, and the third. Now, you do have injuries that occur in this game. You do have all kind of things that pop up. People catch, I don't know, flus and break bones, and anything can occur that can change the dynamics of things. Now, this is my who the fuck would have guessed this bracket? This is my final four for this version. I got Bryant. This is gonna be crazy too. Like, who the fuck? If maybe like $1 billion if somebody was to put this parlay in. So I got the final four is gonna be Bryant, who's been playing phenomenal ball, if you ask me. I got Colorado State. This is crazy. Like, how
they're
is
hot.
that?
They're hot.
They're hot. They're hot. I'm trying to tell you. Now, this is another one. This is like, what? And to me, it's not far-fetched. But Gonzaga, and Gonzaga would be the ones that would win it if this was to happen. Gonzaga would be my other one over there. And then last but not least on the list, coming out of the Duke division, coming out of the East, it would be Montana.
Wow. I wish
you got a 14 and a 15. I love this so much.
I wish
love
the
this
chat
so
could
much.
see my facial expressions on what's being said right now. They can only see the tournament, but all right. I mean, shit, Toad, if you think so. I mean, miracles do happen, don't they?
Man. That's the
We're
beauty of
shuffling a
March.
deck of cards. Far be it for anyone to say why one shuffle's better than another. You
No,
want a
what-
15 and a 14 seed in there. God damn it, eat. I love it.
Man, I think the ground will break beneath us if Bryant Collins in the Final Four.
Let me take you guys to the bottom right. Can we go to the Midwest for a little bit?
Let's go to the Midwest.
I got some opinions here on the Midwest. First of all, as far as a one seed path goes, Houston's got it as clean as anybody in this tournament. A bunch of people are trying to get involved with Gonzaga. As far as those KenPom ratings go, apparently Gonzaga is all over the right metrics. I think they're all over the right metrics because they've been playing a stupid fucking West Coast conference. And so they are top 20 in offense. They are top 15 in defense because half the schedule, they're not playing anybody. So I think they're fooling some people. I think, hard to argue with data, but I think it's misleading analytics right there. I do not fear Gonzaga at all. Matter of fact, they've got Georgia winning that opening game. And then when you go through that, who is going to get in Houston's way? Clemson's up there. Okay, Clemson's got an injury to their starting five. They're going to be a little bit different this year. Purdue, here's my crazy pick of this bracket. High Point's beating Purdue in the first round. High Point's got all the shit I want in the Darlings. They're made for social media. They're goofy. They're weird. They've got high energy. This is the team that's going to go beat Purdue. And Purdue, a team that got beat by a 16 seed just a couple years ago. Braden Smith wins Big Ten Player of the Year. You want to talk about a kid that if I were a Purdue fan, I would wrap my arms around and absolutely love him, but is the easiest fade in the world as a guy who's not a Boilermaker. This guy is not the guy. This guy can get clipped up. Absolutely. It's happening from High Point. So then you start looking at Houston's path. They don't have to play anybody till they get to the Elite Eight. And it'll be interesting to see who makes it there. I think Texas has got a chance to win tonight and roll in hot and beat Illinois. Kentucky's been solid. We're probably looking at an eventual Tennessee-Kentucky matchup down there. You'd think Tennessee would get them, but Kentucky's 2-0 against Tennessee this year. So Houston's playing the winner of that Kentucky-Tennessee game, maybe if we even get there. I think Houston's pretty clean all the way to the Final Four here.
I agree. I think Houston's going to the Final Four. I didn't have Georgia over Gonzaga. I had Houston over Gonzaga in that 32, and then Houston over Clemson. On the other side, though, this is one of the trickier ones. The Texas Xavier beating Illinois, and then I have them beating Kentucky, and then losing to Tennessee in that, is that 16?
Yeah, depending on what happens with this Texas game tonight, I might be rolling the same. I might take Texas
You
all the way.
inspired me, Jack. You inspired me with the Texas call out. I mean, they're getting hot. That's what or at least I thought you were saying. And I'm like, you know what? I think they win tonight and they go on a run. They do something great here. Sometimes
it's the star player you never see coming. Sometimes you just need flat out stars. And this kid, Trey Johnson for Texas, is a flat out star.
That's what
He's 18 years old, and he was the leading scorer in maybe the best basketball conference on paper this season ever in the SEC, a team that had 5 of the top 6 teams in the country, got 14 teams into the tournament, both records, absurd stuff. And this kid is an 18-year-old's averaging 21 a game for him. I mean, watch him go off tonight. I'm just telling you, it's pretty basketball. It's a 6'7" shooter. That's what basketball looks like. Trey Johnson dribbling the ball.
I'm excited. I'll tell you right now, I'm damn excited. But just notable, UCLA over Utah State. I think UCLA's biggest problem this year is being complainers about being in the Big Ten and having to travel and all that stuff. And I'm like, they're going to Kentucky. I mean, you hope they've gotten it all season. They got it together. So I think they beat Utah State. The High Point, I've been thinking about it. There's too much media attention. There's too much love. Too many people have been talking about it. This isn't the shock. I've taken it out. I'm putting Purdue there.
Have you noticed that? Have High Point? Am I not the only person talking about it?
No. It's all over Barstool now. They're talking about the free ice cream, and I'm like, you know what? These guys have ruined it. I was so bought in. I loved the mean mug, but once too many people started talking about it, I was like, I can't. They're cooked. They're getting dropped off by 20.
You got to be able to keep secrets.
I know, because Jack, if it was a secret, I'm so on your side. Like I was on your side the whole time, but I just saw multiple Barstool their shows talking about it and how much they love it.
That embarrasses me.
No, because you know damn well if you knew that, you would have been like, I'm actually off High Point. I actually never want to talk about them again. So. That was the unfortunate news. This is part of why
it's so hard now. This is part of why it's so hard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and at the end of the day,
unsolicited information comes and fucks your world up. I knew nothing about that. And now all of a sudden I got to take High Point out and add fucking Grand Canyon to balance up my shit. This all sucks.
I have Grand Canyon on the other side. You guys got me convinced. Let me take you west. So I got nothing too shocking. I got Florida. Actually, sorry, I do have something shocking, boys. I got Florida, I got UConn, and then in that matchup, I have UConn beating Florida. I have Dan Hurley manning up, and those guys getting a win. I mean, I know Florida is, one of the favorites to win it all, but man, I just have a feeling UConn, you just don't want to face them in the round of 32. Thoughts?
So, how much do you love Danny Hurley? If you think they're back-to-back national champions, that and all of it. Tone, you kind of been with me on this Oklahoma team, though, haven't you? I remember you betting them a couple of times. I like a lot about this Oklahoma team. A lot of big-time wins on their schedule. Their coach is the guy that came over from Loyola Chicago, had some big-time tournament wins years back. I have a hard time having Oklahoma get beat in that game. I really do. I think Oklahoma's got a chance to upset UConn in it. Terrifies me. Dan Hurley famously on the hot mic this year yelling at a ref said, "I'm the best fucking coach in the sport," and he's probably right. So it terrifies me. We got a good coach of our own with Boomer Sooner. I'm not letting UConn fuck up my bracket. I'm taking Florida to the Sweet 16 at least.
What are your thoughts, Tom?
I think UConn goes out first round. I really do. Again, I think Florida takes the West, but I think UConn just gets out of the talk of things real early. I think UConn's name is so legendary that sometimes people by default just automatically include them in stuff. But I mean, even if, let's say, UConn does win, and their next game is versus Florida. And I mean, I heard Lantz, I love the take, that's what we are here for. We can't all be on the same type of timing, but damn it, Lantz might have bumped his head last night. I don't know.
I mean, I'm telling you, boys, when you watch it, it's going to be beautiful. People have, there's not a team that's had such a big target on their back. I mean, UConn, because of their back-to-back national championship wins, like everyone played them like the Lakers. Everyone played them like they play LeBron. I mean, this year. I mean, everyone's kind of writing them off. I mean, you guys as well. I mean, you're doing it right now. Talking about Oklahoma, you're talking about Boomer Sooner. Or were they even the top in their conference? I don't know. We could go look. I'm telling you, them boys in Connecticut, they're taking down Florida in the round of 32 and then going out sad in the Sweet 16 to Penny Hardaway's Memphis.
Here's a big time question for this quadrant down here. As we're staying in the West over here, everyone and their mothers seems to have St. John's coming out of this quadrant. Everyone seems to be wrapped their arms around St. John's. Would have loved, again, before the secret got out on St. John's, to be all over them. And now I'm convinced they have to die here somewhere. So I'm trying to figure out at what point in this bracket do they get clipped. They're going to have to play the winner of Kansas, Arkansas. So they're getting a Hall of Fame coach in the round of 32. And then from there, you're getting probably the winner of Missouri, Texas Tech. Maybe a Drake goes hot and gets out of there. But and then all roads eventually are going to lead to that, kind of the Maryland, Florida, something coming from up top. So I'm trying to figure out, because I've now all of a sudden, before seeding got handed out and before I started hearing the murmurs of who everybody was all over, I would have been in on St. John's. And now, just being a contrarian, I've kind of talked myself out of them, but I can't quite find their spot to get rid of them on the bracket.
I honestly, personally, I have St. John's making it to the Final Four. But as I look at it, I could see them like the Calipari, because I have Calipari and Arkansas beating Kansas, because all I've heard all year is Kansas ain't all that. And I think Calipari's curse from Kentucky is lifted now that he's left. So I actually think he does have some success, and I could see him beating him in the 32, or St. John's goes all the way for me. Those are my thoughts. Tone.
I would say that out the gate, RJ Lewis is going to have like a 4 or 5 3-pointer game. He's going to go a dub plus against Omaha, and St. John's from there is going to fuck up a lot of people parlays because they're going to be like, did you see St. John's? They went crazy. RJ Lewis went out there and they're going to be so high. St. John's going to be the team that is going to fuck up a lot of people's brackets. I really feel so because they played great. I love RJ Lewis. I think he's a stud. I think he's definitely going to be in the NBA. I think, St. John's has had a phenomenal year, but man, I don't know. I think they can easily get outcoached by Kansas. Let me put that out there. And I don't see them beating Texas Tech or Missouri. That is me. I don't see them. I think they'll fall short to one of them.
Bit of a gauntlet there, because those are two teams too where I'm just like, at times I saw teams that could make a run. At times I saw a lot of defense, not a lot of shooting. So those are the teams that always get me so nervous. That's why riding Houston to the championship for me, I'm like, I don't know they can go score 90 points. I know they can fucking battle anybody and rock, and they'll win every game that's in the 70s, but I don't know if some team wants to come shoot on them. They can go score 90 points. So it's a weird, I mean, what a fucking freak show we're doing here, trying to go 63-0. But it's that was my biggest question of that quadrant, is what to do with St. John's. And and another troublemaker in here is fucking Maryland. That Crab 5 team, we talked to that fun stat. They got the highest scoring starting 5, 0 bench on this team. At times, they were my favorite team in the Big Ten, and yet they've lost ways in comical fashion. They get beat by Michigan up 1 with 3.5 seconds left. They go the length of the floor and score at the buzzer. They have Michigan State drop in a 75-footer on their heads. Like, something about this Maryland team either seems like destined for great luck or snake bit from the beginning, and they're going to get beat by Grand Canyon. So I do not know what to do with that Maryland team. They're the little fly in the ointment for me in that bottom left.
Once you guys told me the stat on the starters versus bench, I'm out on Maryland. I can't, don't get me wrong, I haven't watched any Maryland basketball, so I could be just an absolute idiot about this, but I'm like, you're not making a deep run if you don't even have a 6th man or like a 7th man. Like, the foul trouble, these tournament games, GCU is going to be playing their heart. I mean, this is KGO Joe's just saw my bracket and he sees Illinois losing in the first round, so he is not happy. I just jumped back in. Whose losing bracket is this? How dare you bet against my Illinois? KG, I'm an evil bastard, my friend. I might have a pretty smile, but I'm an evil bastard. But what you guys are talking about, I mean, I saw this speech that Rick Pitino gave his team during one of these halftimes when he's down, and he got me so fired up. I'm like, hey, where's the brick wall? Where is it, folks? I'm ready to run through it, because he's just all-time coach. His speeches are great. I can't. I'm still sticking with St. John's.
All right, we're rolling. We got one more quadrant here. We're going top right. I'm taking you boys to the east. Duke, to me, on paper, is the best team in the tournament.
Same.
I think if they're healthy the entire way through, I think game in and game out, there'll never be a game they play in this tournament they're not favored in. So I got Duke cruising to my Final Four. I think their path, Arizona is an interesting spot to catch them. Yep. They're in the Sweet 16. They beat the shit out of Arizona at Arizona earlier this year, but always tough to play a team twice. And a very different Arizona team, it seems, coming to the end of the season. Seem to kind of steadily improve throughout the year. So maybe you could talk yourself into that spot. My kind of fun team in this quadrant, riding BYU all the way to the Elite Eight. Watch BYU beat Iowa State twice. I thought they were just going to be a bunch of rangy white Mormon shooters. We got some athletic dudes fucking hanging out in the paint there that can fucking run the floor, can rim protect, can fucking catch the lob and throw shit down. BYU's got a lot more shit going on than people realize. That's a damn good basketball team.
Yeah, and that's what I've been hearing, and that's what had me screw. I didn't know where to go. It was either BYU or Wisconsin, and I'm like, I mean, Wisconsin, aren't they? Is BYU really? You think they have a chance they could actually make that elite rate? I mean, you said it.
So Wisconsin, when I've seen them go to work on some people, I think they're do a really good job of playing through kind of the high post. I think the ball skills of their centers and fours are really fucking good, and they do a great job rebounding. So if they're shooting the ball well, they're just so disciplined. They're a tough out. I think BYU is kind of the perfect matchup for them, and I think they're more athletic on the interior. So I think some of that rebounding advantage for Wisconsin goes by the wayside, and all of a sudden now it's just shooters versus shooters, and BYU's been hot. So I really talked myself into this BYU team.
Damn. I mean, I'm definitely gonna make one more like a couple more brackets. This is definitely just the first one. All right, but I hear it. Tone, what do you think?
Yeah, on which point?
On BYU.
BYU. I think BYU. As far as their season, man, BYU is definitely on the map. They've raised some eyebrows. I liked a lot of their games I watched. I'm not sold on them getting past a few teams in the East, though. Just to be fairly honest,
I was going to say there's a butt coming here. You were prefacing all nice, but there was a butt coming. Because I'll say this too. I'm taking them to my Elite Eight, and they could just as easily get beat in that first round against VCU. VCU runs the floor like crazy. They get up and down fast. That could be a nightmare situation if you're not hitting shots, and all of a sudden, because BYU will play at that pace, and all of a sudden you got a team that's making shots and you're not. It's an easy recipe to be down 20 and be out of this tournament. So I get it.
What about St. Mary's and Vanderbilt? Do you guys know anything about this? KG is saying watch out for Vanderbilt and watch out for Colorado State. I know Vanderbilt's in this quadrant. I don't know where Colorado State is.
Colorado State's over in the top left. They're playing, or bottom left, they're playing Memphis in the opener. So it's a question. Memphis isn't healthy. I love me Penny Hardaway, and I love how that team plays. That one's one of the hardest games of the first round for me to pick because Colorado State's as hot as anybody. But I think Memphis is a really hard freaking 40 minutes for somebody.
Damn. So Memphis is hurt.
Memphis is a little banged up. Yeah. They're
I don't love
probably
that.
their second or third leading scorer is in a walking boot, not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, they will prevail though. They won't fail.
I have faith, especially because I feel like Penny Hardaway and these teams have not delivered as much as they would like. I still like
St. Mary's Vandy one too. St. Mary's, I watched them in their championship game against Gonzaga. I mean, both teams were in the 40s late in the game. Like neither were shooting it at all well. They're running good sets. They've got a center that wants to catch the ball from 15 feet away from the basket the entire time, but can only finish at the rim. He's just caught in no man's land constantly. And Vanderbilt, I think, is a little overrated, but I also think that SEC is a little like underrated sometimes in coming into this tournament, how good they were this year. So I took Vandy out of there and I got them getting beat by Alabama in the next round. Not a huge loss if you lose on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I have Bama advancing too. So that's why I'm like not too hung up on it. But I went St. Mary's. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
The toughest part about all of this is it's all just we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Cool. I'll say that when St. Mary's like visiting teams like Wisconsin, they have to literally get in the trenches. You're talking about John Tunji and like he's going crazy, but like I think St. Mary's sound a little too holy to be going in the trenches and doing some hard work. Early. That's just my opinion.
I'll tell you, Tone. I don't know if there's a direct causation there, but absolutely they're soft. I watched it against Gonzaga, and they were getting bullied by I'm already kind of a soft Mark Few team there. So I think Vandy's going to go. Like every SEC game that I watched this year, there was a different athletic profile on the floor. The game was faster. People were jumping higher. We were playing above the rim. It felt like a different league a little bit this year. Some Big 10 teams, some Big 12 teams. Duke certainly out of the ACC belong in those conversations. Big East, we'll see how they match up against it. But I really think some of these SEC teams, it's going to be a little JV varsity going on, at least from the athletic makeup. You make shots, you make shots. It's the ultimate equalizer. But from an athletic standpoint, like, oh, God, is Vanderbilt better than St. Mary's?
Okay. KG Little Joe's in the chat says, so the real question is, who will be the first number 1 team ousted? And he says Auburn. What do you guys think?
So in my bracket, I've got Auburn. Now I also think when Auburn plays their best, they can beat anybody in this tournament. Their one major loss when they were playing their best was at Duke in a final possession game. So Auburn, if they can put it together, is damn good. That second round game, if it's Louisville, not Creighton, is going to get played in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a 45-minute drive from Louisville. It's going to be a complete home game for Louisville. So that's going to be a tough one right there in the round of 32 for Auburn, assuming it is Louisville. The team I kind of have eyes on, I don't think Florida can put together 5 consecutive great games.
Whoa, the team I had, UConn. All right, keep going. Sorry.
I think Florida, they're the pace in which they play. I think all of a sudden, like I remember watching them play against Georgia a month ago, where they were down 23 in the first half and spent the entire game getting it back, cut it to like 3 late, but end up losing it by 8. I think the pace in which they play, they can find themselves in a big hole early. So I could see, whoever the hot team is, they're going to have to face. Is it that UConn, Oklahoma out of the gate? Is it Maryland coming up? Is Colorado State staying hot and is all of a sudden the team that's just raining shots down on them? Again, from an athletic standpoint, I think Maryland's the only team they'd face early that can catch them. But I do think they have that weird thing going on where like they can just easily shoot themselves out and into a 15-point hole early and then just let March do its thing,
Yeah, no, I mean, fuck, I hear you. Well, damn, boys, what do we?
Houston and Duke to me feel inevitable.
Same. That's also I feel the same way. Tone, I know Tone does because he told us yesterday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Duke
we all think Duke and Houston. I have Auburn and St. John's on the other side. I mean, it's a 1 and 2 seed. It's nothing special. I'm a little ashamed about it, but yeah. I mean,
my Final Four all in. I got Duke, Houston, Maryland, Michigan State, and I got a Houston-Michigan State national championship. Houston's your winner.
Damn. Houston national champions.
Somehow I kept the SEC entirely out of the Final Four. After I might need to rethink that.
Yeah, I think that Duke is going to stake their flag.
You think Duke basketball is back? I mean, and so do I. Personally, I have Duke, and I have the total points being scored in the game as 167. I think it's Duke Auburn, kind of the repeat of that one game Jack was talking about. What a game that would be, by the way. If you could guarantee that for me right now, boy, am I psyched. Oh, man. I mean, I just think I just want to see Cooper Flag on the big stage. I mean, this kid, he's been talked about so dearly all year long. He gets the ankle, and now it's like, come back. The lights are bright. Time to be great, and I want him to come through, and I think he will.
At least 2, maybe 3 lottery picks on this Duke team. Cooper Flag is your bona fide number 1 overall pick. Con Kniffle's all of a sudden in the top 10 on all the mock draft boards I've seen. And I'm forgetting the name of their other freshman. Well, Proctor's the Australian kind of senior. He'll get drafted. He'll have an NBA career. But I'm trying to think. They have another freshman that comes off the bench for him that I think is the other major prospect this year. I'll have that dialed for tomorrow's show. But yeah, Duke on paper is that good. They're if they play their best ball, I don't know who gets in front of them.
Yeah, no, I think we all agree on that. Yeah. All right.
I just think Kelvin Sampson and that defense. I heard a great expression the last time I watched Houston play. I forget who was doing the color commentary, but he said, "There's no team like Houston that forces you to play on their terms like they do." And I couldn't agree more. It's never a game where it's like, who the fuck? Like, this is not the game Houston wants to be playing. Like, you bet Michigan. I'm terrified. All of a sudden, Michigan can get into a game where it's out of sorts and they are not playing their game. It's going fast. They want to play in the half court. They're fucked. Houston forces everyone to come into the deep water with them and play out there. And that's a hell of a deal.
Damn. Well, I mean, shit. When don't we have a game starting to tip off?
Already tipped. Yeah, we better do our picks.
Oh, and I was like, should we get into the picks? Should we?
Let's do it. Let's hit picks.
All right, let's do it. Say goodbye to the bracket. Hello to my face. I don't have my hat or glasses on. I was relaxing. Sorry, folks. But all right, let me lead it off. Tonight's picks. I'm doing a lot of player props. I got about 10 of them. One game line, and like I always say, parlay them together and then take them individually, and I think you'll have great success. Here we go. Pascal Siakam over 28.5 points plus rebounds tonight. I believe the Pacers play. It's a shitty team. Man, I did a bad job of putting the matchups with the player props. So 1 second. Pacers play a dog shit team at home. 1 moment. Mavericks. They play the Mavericks at home. So I like Siakam over 20.5 points and rebounds. Next, I got the Houston Rockets minus 2.5 at Magic. I think this is a great matchup. And, we've been talking about, I like taking the West versus the East teams. And I just got burned by the East 2 times last night. So I'm going back to the West. I'm not going to fight it anymore. I like Tari Eason over 20.5 points plus rebounds. This guy's been playing well, especially with the injury to Amen Thompson. He's getting more minutes, and he's proven his worth. He's proven his value. Cade Cunningham over 35.5 points plus assists against the Heat. Heat are a great defensive team, but you can't guard a guy like Cade Cunningham. He's just a monster, and I think he's going to eat. Luka Doncic over 31.5 points. I see him firing tonight. He played that game against the Spurs, shot 5 for 20, even though he filled up the stat sheet. I mean, when you shoot like that on a night, you're going to come back, probably fire in the next game. Nikola Jokic over 28.5 points. This is just a classic matchup against the Lakers. They're going to try. He knows he's got to eat if they want a chance to win with that. I guess we don't have LeBron, so it's not the full healthy Lakers, but you guys know where I'm getting with that. So I got his over 28.5 points, and I got his over 12.5 rebounds. Next, I got Josh Giddey. Sneaky one. Josh Giddey, the Giddler, over 31.5 with PRA. The Bulls are playing the Suns. Suns are not great on defense, so I like that spot there. Jaren Jackson Jr. over 31.5 PRA. They're playing the Portland Trailblazers. Like that one there. And then Denny Avila on the other side on the Blazers over 29.5 PRA. He's shown to be a solid piece for him. And he gets minutes. Billups trusts him. He's spoken highly about him. So I'm like, you know what, Denny, why don't you be great today? Give us our PRA, and those are my picks.
No notes at all. Good shit. Gonna keep us rolling here. Texas plus 3.5 tonight. Texas on games I bet on, they seem to like to go to overtime. They are terrific fighters. They're not terrific winners. So go ahead and take the points to buy yourself the insurance. It's getting offered at even money. I've seen it get toggled down to 2.5. If you can buy that half point and take it back to 3 just for the insurance, I would go ahead and take it. Also taking the over of this game. Tone, I know it's at that number that you hate for college basketball that under seem to live on the other side of this. But I'm just thinking about the pace. I'm thinking about the youth of this Texas team. I see them running up and down the floor all night, thinking a lot of transition points, thinking a potential overtime game here. So I'm going over the 151.5. And then took the dog last night on the front end and the favorite in the second game. I'm flipping it. So I'm taking it. The game's already tipped, but I had this written down in stone before the game started, and I'll honor it. American minus 2.5 in this round of the play-ins between the 16 seats.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like it, Jack. Hey, I feel like our picks combined is Justice League. You can't go.
Yeah. There we go.
Start at the top left side. Mine is money line spreads and total combined points. Starting with and again, I got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For those who like to jump the curve like a big old F-250, go ahead and get ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? I got you. If you want to put,
I'm not even going to try to type right here. I'm strapping in my seatbelt and just watching the show. Take it over.
Here we go. Money lines. George Mason W. North Texas W. SMU W. SMU.
Well, I see you, Jack. So I don't know where.
Get out. I was really interested in that SMU minus 10.
I know. I wanted to. I heard SMU too, and I was like, oh.
I was like, what are you saying to my voice? Well, damn.
Well, damn.
Should we have Talon just text you and we'll post it on Discord? Or no, we're getting them back.
We're getting them back. How do you know we're getting them back?
I'm seeing the load signal.
I see nothing.
All right, well,
We
we're
can
not
sit here
getting
and-
back. We'll post it in Discord.
Over 30.
Oh, wait, you're back. Yo.
It's back.
Yeah,
Is it back?
I don't know what happened, but you cut out very early. You're just gonna have to. We heard SMU.
We were at SMU minus 10.
Okay, no. I didn't do it. SMU minus SMUW, SMU over 37.5 first half points. Do not take the minus of the no. All right, UC Irving W, San Francisco W, Purdue W, Wisconsin W, Houston W, Auburn win first half, Clemson W, Tennessee W, Texas A&M W, Missouri W, St. John's W, Texas Tech W, next day Alabama W, Iowa State W, Maryland W, Kentucky W, Arizona W, Michigan State W, Oregon W. Here goes some player props for tonight, and a few is for other days, I believe. But here we go. Jalen Green, 21.5 points tonight, over. Dalton Connect, 1.5 3-pointers, over. Anthony Edwards, 22.5 points, over. Zion Williamson, 19.5 points, over. Some of these props might be different at this point because, again, I do get them at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Jackson Hayes, 6.5 rebounds, over. RJ Lewis Jr., over 1.5 threes. Zakai Ziegler, over 1.5 threes. This is my lock, y'all. Emmanuel Sharp, over 12.5 points. Emmanuel Sharp, over 12.5 points. John Tunjay, whichever one, 21.5 points, over. Chet Holmgren tonight, 19.5 points, over. There is no Shea, by the way. So, again, I took Quentin Grimes, 23.5 points, over as well. And last but not least, I think with no Shea out there, it's going to be a lot of bricks put up. It's going to be a lot of bricks put up. So I got Yabusele at 5.5 rebounds, over. There you have it, people.
Boom. As always, take it to the bank.
Beautiful.
That's gospel truth right there.
Beautiful. Wait, so you think without Shea, there's going to be a lot of bricks? I don't know. I see the ball moving with that OKC. They're deep. They're deep, Tone. They got so many shooters.
I'll put more clarity to it. I don't think OKC loses. Let's be clear. But I think that the operation is going to be a lot different. Caruso and the mix, and Shea is so much of a navigator and facilitator. With him not being there, I mean,
he's the floor general. He starts the action. It's the high pick and roll, and everyone's got to react off him. You take that away, yeah, I'm with you, Tone. A lot of shots late in the shot clock. We're gonna get some bricks tonight. Maybe not a bad underplay in that game too.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, boys, I'm gonna sign us out unless we got closing notes here.
March 23rd.
Oh yeah. All I got is KG Joe's. He says locks of the night player props. He has Detroit's Tobias Harris over points and rebounds at 19.5. It goes against my morals to pick this one, but Lakers, Austin Reeves over 36.5 PRA. And hey, the Bulls, Gidler, his PRA of 31.5 over. So me and Lil Joe's on the same page. Come on now.
Gidler.
And Jeremy Cantor, Jack and Lance in the purest sponge mode when Tone hits the sermon. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, Jeremy. You can't miss it. It's must-see TV. Jack, I got nothing. Hit us with the beautiful outro, and we'll be on our way.
Absolutely. This was the Wanna Parlay podcast, home of everything Wanna Parlay, the proud father, the $2 parlay, and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning that $2 into $2,000 and walking out the door. Today was a great show. Special thanks to KG from Little Joe's there in Chicago, one of our favorite users on the Wanna page and greatest guys that we have around. Special reminder, the entire bracket long throughout all of March Madness, with sponsors from Juana and El Bandito Yankee. They're in Little Joe's in Chicago. They're putting the little get out of work hooky pass together. So come out there, enjoy it. They've got gambling games going on during every single game. They've got unique prizes being handed out left and right. So if you're in the Chicago area, just in the general Midwest footprint, get your ass over there. And if you're not and you're in the Southeast, then get your ass over to Tone's party coming up this Sunday. If you are near, please appear. We're going to be watching picks all day. Tone's going to have his own special picks there on hand for everyone to go ahead and tail. He's yet to have a losing round since joining this podcast. Last night was his worst effort, and he still netted a unit. So he's a good guy to follow. It's a good party. If I were in Atlanta, I'd be fucking there all day, creating all sorts of problems. You won't have to worry about it. I'm in California. We'll be back likely the same time tomorrow. We'll post on our Discord if there's a change of plans. Trying to do our best to navigate with March Madness going on. We don't want to pull you guys away from good games going on, but we do have to recap and keep talking shop around here. So we'll keep you guys posted. More than likely, same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Celebrating more WANA winners, updating the bracket, telling you how we're doing, and figuring out how to dig out of the holes we're inevitably going to dig for ourselves. So we'll keep you posted on all that. But that's all I got, Lance. Take us out.
Yep. Hey, for everyone that showed up and showed out in the chat, we appreciate you always. Like Jack said, we have no idea when we're going to be tuning in tomorrow, but we will let you guys know and keep you guys updated on that. So I don't know when, but we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching and see ya.